Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And my brothers and sisters, for this midday snack, just when you thought you'd seen it all, we've got activist nuns in one of the most innovative ways to try to destroy the gun world that I've ever seen. It's just going to fall flat, but points for creativity. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to walk you through this one, and the comments on this one should be so good. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. All right, my brothers and sisters, we have got to talk about the nuns who are attacking Smith & Wesson from the inside. It's an inside nun job, or I don't know. I look forward to the comments. This is rife for jokes, but let's get to it. Nuns who own shares of Smith & Wesson sue over AR-15 deaths. I would just like to point out the irony of the nuns who are trying to destroy the gun control or gun companies are actually complicit in the murder of all the people. Because that's the argument that they make. Anyway, just saying. A coalition of Catholic nuns claim that the gun maker is putting itself at risk by selling the AR-15 style rifles. It is a frivolous lawsuit. It is a frivolous lawsuit, but that's not what we're talking about, or why we're talking about this. Why we're talking about this is I want to show you the levels of creativity and innovation that they are trying to do to get around the PLCAA, the Protection and Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, to attack these gun companies from within. So, I'm going to hit a few of these things, then I'm going to hit the angle they're going, because this is truly a spectacle unto itself. A coalition of 4 Catholic nun congregations said in a lawsuit filed on Tuesday that the gun maker Smith & Wesson has put shareholders at risk in the way it makes, markets, and sells its AR-15 style rifle. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. This is not like the lawsuits that are coming from the outside against these companies. This is coming from the inside. This is why it's focused on putting its shareholders at risk, because the nuns say, well, we bought into your company, which, again, would be complacency when you're talking about the gun control perspective. So they're suing from the inside because of a fiduciary responsibility not to get sued from the outside, of which other gun controllers are doing. Let's keep going, because this, seriously, you can't make this stuff up. The nuns, who are Smith & Wesson shareholders, argue that the gun maker is exposing itself to liability by intentionally violating laws in its production and sale of the rifles which have been used in several high-profile mass shootings. Exposing itself to liability, which calls into question the fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary, of course, means you have to take care of the shareholder's best interest. So these nuns bought into shares of Smith & Wesson to say, we're shareholders now so we can do stuff. They're suing them from the inside because other companies or other organizations have sued them from the outside because of a fiduciary responsibility. Like, legitimately, you can't make this stuff up. This is going absolutely nowhere. But the innovation, they do get points for creativity. But gun controllers have always had the ability to get creativity on their docket. Let's show you what the CEO is saying, because again, this is a thing. Mark Smith, who by the way has coined some amazing letters in the past, the chief executive and president of Smith & Wesson said in a statement that the nuns were, quote, not interested in the best interest of the company or its stockholders. He added, this frivolous lawsuit is simply another instance in their long history of attempting to hijack and abuse the shareholder advocacy process to harm our reputation and company, which is what they've done consistently over and over and over again. Understand what they did on a high level. These gun controllers, the people who want more gun restrictions, are all about lambasting gun companies for the products that they make, which are completely legal. They are not illegal. There is nothing wrong. It's completely constitutionally protected. So in order to bring down the giant, they bought into the giant, which in their own ways would say that they are complicit with everything that goes wrong, in order to sue it from the inside to bring it down. It's creative. It is. But let's keep going, because here's where it gets really comical, because you would think they'd have tons of shares to really pull their weight, right? Yeah, nah. The nuns' action this week is a derivative lawsuit, a legal mechanism that allows shareholders to sue the leaders of a company for breaching their duties, fiduciary responsibilities. Jeffrey Norton, the lead lawyer for the Nuns Coalition, said on Thursday his clients collectively owned more than 1,000 shares of Smith & Wesson. 1,000 whole shares, guys. 1,000. That's a lot of shares. Until you realize the outstanding amount of shares is, 46 million. So 46 million outstanding shares. These nuns got together and bought 1,000 shares, again, 1,000 out of 46 million, and their big point is, we're now shareholders, so we're going to sue you for fiduciary responsibility infringements, which is ironic. You just can't make this stuff up. And all of this is in an effort to get around the PLCAA, which is a federal law which is called the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, which protects gun companies from the horrible things that criminals do with their products, because that's just common sense. And before any gun controller gets in the comments and says they're the only ones that have that liability protection, that's not true. Why don't you ask about any type of injuries for anything that will go in you like that with a sharp, pointy thing? Because those industries have the exact same immunities. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think, and I will see you at tonight's episode. I'm Braden. See you later.